Are you intrigued by history and science that have contested explanations? Ever thought, I'm definitely smarter than my friends, but not as smart as the experts? Then join Craig and Dave as they explore the mysteries of who the why the and how the will they actually find the answers? Probably not, but they'll have a good time trying. Welcome to Craig and Dave's Sci-Piece.
All right, welcome to episode 2 of Craig and Dave's Sci-Piece.
Episode 2.
We made it to 2.
We made it to 2.
Yeah.
We did 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Woo.
Pay no attention to the same outfits.
Yeah, exactly.
It's 3 we have to be worried about. It's 3.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be done. It's laundry day.
Yeah, that's it. It's laundry day. So episode 2, we did our intro episode.
Yep.
Now we're going to get into our focus topics. Before we do, if you have a topic that you want us to talk about, email it to us at cdscipiece@gmail.com. Not just the topic, your thoughts along with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And the more colorful your opinions, the more likely you are to get on the show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this stuff.
Yeah. And honestly, if we end up coming back to topics, which may happen,
Yeah, probably gonna happen.
It's likely going to happen. It's not because we ran out of things; it's because more interesting stuff has happened.
Has happened. Yeah, exactly.
And again, big shout out to Josh Gates, who's going to be a guest on the show at some
Eventually,
point in the future.
we're gonna get him on here.
We're going to get him.
We're gonna get him.
I'm going to have to raise the ceiling in here because he's a tall guy.
He is a big guy.
We're going to get him.
Yeah.
I'm getting Josh Gates.
I want Josh Gates to come.
I want him to come on
on
the show just because my wife can't stand him.
Yeah.
I think he's awesome.
He's awesome. I love Josh Gates. That's why.
I know he does he does so many of those shows that I like.
Yeah, exactly. He's
Right?
he's one of those people. He has those interests of just traveling and going check out this cool stuff, man.
Yeah, and
it's
he's a
awesome.
masshole. I
Yeah.
was born and raised in Massachusetts too.
Yeah,
so like,
exactly.
call me Josh.
Yep. But yeah, and also too, like and subscribe, follow us. Comment, whatever. If you got thoughts just on the episode that we're doing right now, just let us know. You know.
That
But-
could be a fun way for us to come back to a topic if we get some comments about
Yeah.
the past episode.
Yep.
We could always come back to it that way.
And then I can't wait to read all the comments and tell us we suck and we're stupid.
I was
And
actually just thinking, I was just gonna say, I'm excited for the hate mail.
For the email.
I cannot
exactly.
wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually,
It'll be
I may prioritize that over fan mail.
fun. Yeah. Exactly.
Because that's way more fun.
Yep.
You know, it'd be great if we start getting hate mail from like email addresses we know and recognize.
Yeah, that most likely will happen. But
Start getting it from needless to say at gmail.com. Yeah.
yep. But so this week this episode we're going to talk about Gobekli Tepe,
Gobekli Tepe,
which
the OG of ancient sites.
Ancient sites. Yeah.
Well,
I
maybe.
mean, you found some campfires with some like chewed up bear bones from but
it's no footprints in a cave from a little kid walking next to a dog, which was very cool by the way.
Yeah, that was really cool. But
But no, this is Gobekli Tepe is a recent discovery. I say recent, like in the 80s.
it was discovered in I think 65,
but largely ignored.
but largely ignored until an archaeologist finally said in the 80s, he was like, you know what, I'm going to go check this out.
Yeah.
Because people were talking about it, and he went. And he was like, wow, this seems really old.
Yeah.
And then it kind of got, like, he couldn't get funding to go and do a dig and this and that, and it was kind of pushed around for years. And then in the 90s, they started to remove stuff, and they started to really find out that this place was old.
Yeah.
And by old, I mean, roughly anywhere between 9 to 11,000 years old.
Yeah.
So you're talking 5 to 7,000 years before the Egyptians built the pyramids.
Before thousands
of years.
That's fucking wild to me.
Yeah, it's
Just
crazy.
think about that.
Yeah,
10,000 years ago.
yeah. So it was like 9.
Do you know what was happening in the world 10,000 years ago? Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly. Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And
But-
these old Turkish dudes were like, you know what?
Yeah.
Watch this.
Yeah, and that's right. The site is in Turkey, and so when they started to dig up this site, they realized it's how old it really was. And back then, people weren't supposed to be doing this stuff back then.
Because it dates to the hunter-gatherer
Hunter-gatherer,
phase of
yes.
our civilization, of human civilization?
Of human,
All right,
civ-
we'll go
yeah,
with that.
modern
Okay.
human civilization. We were just hunter-gatherers. We migrated with the animals.
Yeah.
And collected food,
Picked berries along the way.
picked berries along the way, and hunted the animals that were migrated. We followed them
Yeah.
to wherever they were going.
At least that's what they thought.
At least that's what they thought, because now you find this place and you're like, wait, there's these gigantic stone pillars. There's rooms. It's like a temple complex.
It's not just like a seasonal like hunting cabin.
Yeah, it's like, why were they staying here? Because you didn't build it over a weekend.
No.
You know what I mean?
And not just to use on the weekend.
Yeah, and not only that, if you're a hunter-gatherer, shouldn't you be out hunting?
And gathering.
Yeah,
You ain't got time for stone work.
Yeah, you kind of your life and family depend on it.
But
You
like,
know what I mean?
I can, if we're talking about hunter gatherers, like you're following the migrating patterns of animals.
Yeah.
And so I can imagine. I joked about having a hunting lodge, but you would set up a camp you could come back to.
Yeah,
Maybe you've got a few little huts and stuff. Like just
you would still set up a camp because you
carve out a cave with a door that's a pelt.
Yeah,
Yeah. Shut the pelt. I gotta pee.
Yeah. But they did need shelter and stuff, and you were going to stay in an area for But even that, like migration, so you're going to stay in an area for like 3 months, and then you're out.
That's what I mean. You would just want something in place so when you showed up, like, all right, let's reset this back up.
Yeah,
This-
like Native Americans did with teepees. They were portable.
Right. They brought Right.
They just moved.
They were the rednecks of their time.
Yeah.
Motherfucking mobile homes. No wonder why they like Florida so much.
Exactly.
Why did I never think of that?
You're right.
No, so-
imagine what a tornado would do to a village of teepees. In the
Bunch
Midwest.
of javelins flying around.
Yeah. Oh God.
What the hell?
But yeah, these people built a gigantic stone complex. Now,
And it wasn't a stone house.
no,
This-
it's a temple.
They had
some sort.
It's like 10 to 14, 18 foot tall, like monoliths.
T-shaped pillars
Right.
with carvings on them.
Yeah, and the carvings, like the first thing, and they're in like circular patterns, like the way they're set up. I think
Yeah.
they're set up almost like triangles. Like
Yep.
there's three that make up, and there's a bunch of different ones, but they have carvings of animals on them
Yes.
and other symbols that we'll probably never figure out because I'm sure they had their own language and stuff.
Yeah.
But like my first thought was like, this is them. That was their first zoo. They're like, this is what we find valuable to us. These animals, these things. There were foxes everywhere.
Yeah.
Foxes
a
on
lot of-
all
yeah,
the
it was-
places.
There was a lot of fox, drawings
Which,
and
which
other
to me
animals.
tracks with hunter gatherers. Like a fox is going to follow
Yeah.
herds and do that, but come back to a den,
Scorpions, like tons of stuff that they
Yeah.
dealt with on a daily basis.
which makes sense.
But the crazy thing about it is, so at this point, they realize that not only is this complex more advanced than it should be, it's massive.
Yeah, they've excavated like 10%.
10%, and there is no plan to excavate the other 90% of
They
this
built
complex.
a dome over the 10% they've done.
Yeah.
And they're not going to dig anymore.
And they're not going to dig anymore. And not only that, they actually built like a visitor center on top of one of the areas that hasn't been dug up yet.
Right. Oh, we can't dig it up now.
Yeah. And it's like, why are they doing that? And you start to find things, because it changes everything.
That's what a lot of people think. It turns into like conspiracy
Yeah.
stuff because like
There's a plane landing on Dave's house right now.
that's the government flying over
Yeah,
so they can
yeah.
keep track of us. But no, like they've put a lot of effort into not being able to find out more stuff.
Yes, exactly.
So that's going to fuel so many different conspiracy theories. But why wouldn't you want to know?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and we talked about this in the last episode. In the introduction episode, it's like I get you don't want to be wrong if you spent your whole career, looking at this certain area and coming up with a hypothesis, and you write books about it and papers about it, and then all of a sudden they find something else over there, and they're like, "Oh, you were wrong." And it's like, fuck.
Why not? But why not continue working? Like, we found new stuff.
Okay.
Let me revise my. Why not?
Yeah, revise my
don't
theory.
be so
That's what
arrogant.
science is, isn't it?
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be.
I said supposed to be.
I did too.
Sorry, it was contagious. I don't understand the reluctance to want to find out what was going on. Like, if it's me.
Yeah.
Why we're doing this? If I could go, I would fucking dig it up. I want to know what's going on.
I want to know what's there. What else is there?
Fascinating. This is a 10,000-year-old like megalithic city.
Yeah, and these people were
supposed to be hunter-gatherers.
Supposed to be hunter-gatherers. Now the problem is everybody said the thought process of the way civilization happened was you had hunter-gatherers, then you had agriculture.
Right.
And then once they established agriculture, they were like, okay, we're settling here. We're just settling here.
We don't have to chase things now.
We don't have to chase things now. We're settling here. We can process this food. We can do all this stuff.
Right.
Now we're going to build a town.
Yeah.
And then it turns into, we're building this, with worshiping centers and all this stuff.
And rationally, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
It's like, oh, hey, we don't have to follow the herds.
Yeah.
We just build a pen, keep the animals with us. We can plant these crops, and we don't have to walk around. So let's build more than just a fucking tent to live in.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
However,
we're finding that it came first because there's no sign of agriculture in the area.
None.
No seeds, no nothing.
Nope.
But they did find, we'll get into this other area nearby. There's another site nearby that's just as old that they found, but they found places to process wheat, barley, things like that, where they're processing it.
Yeah.
So, and who knows? I mean, that could be, you could come up on a field and you're like, wheat grows here. You know what I mean?
Instead of moving this stuff, let's just set up shop here.
You just set up shop here, and it comes back next year. It's crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and maybe that's how agriculture gets established, when they realize, okay, when we cut these down and these little bits of seed fall on the ground, they don't realize it. They're just cutting it down, and then all of a sudden shit grows back there.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
Wow.
Yeah. You know? And then you start to realize, it grew back, but it grew back when the sun set over there, not over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
you imagine some little Turkish kid just spilled a bowl of seeds and caught the worst beating of his life.
Yeah.
But then the next year, everything grew back huge in that spot.
Yeah.
And now he's a god.
The hero of mankind.
Right. What's the fucking kid that tripped?
Yeah.
And that's why they build Gobekli Tepe.
Yeah.
It's all to this one kid.
It's this one kid.
Imagine.
Yeah. It's his temple. Yeah, they just they sacrificed him and mummified his body and just put it in the middle.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, so that's the thought was, with the information we had at the time, it's all right.
Yeah.
Agriculture is what drove civilization. I don't say civilization. Urbanization,
right? Yeah, before and then you have civilization after that, when they start constructing.
But I was watching a video. I can't remember the name of the scientist. You see him on everything. He's got the white hair and glasses. Super smart guy. Talking about, I don't know why it's so hard for people to think they could spread ideas and thoughts through different civilizations, but not agriculture.
Yeah.
Why can't you think of it the other way around?
Yeah, exactly.
Or no, it was backwards. Agriculture spread from the Middle East to Europe and to wherever else.
Yeah.
Why couldn't thoughts and ideas do the same thing?
Yeah.
And archaeology resists that stuff. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And the thing is you have these older. One of the things that they depict on one of the things depicted on one of the pillars, and that the way it looks, the way it shows like a dead person.
Yep.
You know.
Timmy.
and waves. Timmy, the kid that tripped.
A Turkish kid named Timmy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and there's waves and stuff, and you realize that they're talking about a flood.
Yep. Imagine that.
Imagine that. You know, and now this time, and even that mainstream archaeologist still tries to deny this flood. Some people call it Noah's flood, you know, but it was an accident. It was something that happened. It was either a meteor strike or a comet strike.
An earthquake that caused a tsunami.
Something major happened that places across the globe were immediately flooded. There's proof of it.
Yeah, everywhere.
There's proof of it everywhere. There's
a flood story in civilizations across the world.
About
the same time.
All about the same time.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we know it happened.
Uh-huh.
You can't deny that happened. You know, and granted, like Christianity took it and made it the Noah thing, and what they just put their
fucking ruin everything, don't they? They ruin listen, Christianity has ruined everything.
Yeah.
Sorry. There's the hate mail.
There's the hate mail.
There it is. Found it.
No, but what it is they don't, at that time back then, they didn't have a way to explain it. Like, well, God must have been mad.
Right.
Because you don't know why all of a sudden the ocean is here.
Listen, like, you and I are sitting here in this studio, all of a sudden the street floods and water rushes in the garage. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
All I know is I'm going to die.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to get up to the peak of my backyard and we'll be good.
Yep. And they know that the sea level rose rapidly.
Yep.
Not over generations or decades.
Days. Yeah. Fast enough where they decided to memorialize a dead person with waves, which probably symbolized dead people.
Yes.
In the water, wherever it came from.
And so you're talking about this massive flood that happened, you know, at the end of the Ice Age.
Yep.
And then you say, you know, people think of the Ice Age. Some people think of it as like the whole world was just ice, and it wasn't. 3 degrees,
4 degrees colder.
Yeah, and there was glaciers that came just down further. The equator was still, like, you know, and that area was still tropical and temperate, and you know what I mean.
Water levels were higher, and it was colder the further north you got. That's in south.
Yeah, and then this happens, you know, and you've got, this is the end. The Earth had been warming for a while. Stuff was melting and sea levels were rising, but then all of a sudden this happened. And it was like, oh damn!
Yeah,
like
ooh, it's not like, hey, let's move the tent back a few feet from the shore. It's like, oh shit, the tent's gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now that's where you get to. Where did these people learn this? Was there a more advanced civilization prior to this?
Totally possible.
You know, and when I say advanced, I don't mean like some people think like Atlantis and these other
which
advanced civilizations.
That should go into the Grail.
Yeah,
by the way.
It's not about flying cars and stuff. It's about having a more advanced set of technology. Maybe they were making metals that, you know,
we don't know
did
about
things. They were constructing massive buildings, and those things were wiped out because when you're going to build a civilization, you're not going to build it in the middle of nowhere away from anything.
No, what do you build it? Where are most major cities in the world built?
Rivers and coasts.
Within miles of water.
Yeah.
Period.
That's
where you build things because that's where your resources are.
Yeah. So you could have had these. So this place gets wiped out, and you have these survivors that are straggling along.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, I'm blending with this tribe now. These hunter-gatherer people. You know what I mean? Or I'm coming up upon these people. Hey, I know a few things.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't know everything. Because when you look at Gobekli Tepe, it's very much like Stonehenge.
Yeah, except it's older and more advanced.
Older, yeah. But it's very similar. So these things get passed down through generations of, I mean, think about it. Back then, you didn't go to school to become something else.
No,
you did what your father did.
Right.
You did what your family did. Like
to survive.
We're hunters.
Yeah.
Or we're builders, or we're whatever. That's the role of our family in this group of people.
Yeah. It's not like, hey, hey, I want a snack. Can you go run upstairs and grab a bag of chips? It's like, hey, we haven't eaten in 2 days. Go fucking kill something.
Go kill something, please.
Now.
Yeah, now.
Yeah.
And then...
and don't drop those seeds again.
But then they're finding things at Gobekli Tepe. They found beads, which means, okay, so they had art.
It wasn't just a living space.
Yeah. Things were happening there. And to construct something that big, like I said, if you're migrating with the animals...
Yeah. You don't build 18-foot, 20-ton megaliths for funsies.
For fun, yeah, exactly. You're staying there.
It's like, hey, you know what I want to do this weekend?
Yeah.
Carve out this sandstone and stand it upright.
Yeah, exactly. And they, and
I think
these gigantic.
Now, granted,
blocks.
I mean the quarry for Gobekli Tepe is right nearby. It's
not
hundreds
far
of yards away.
Yeah, it's not far away.
Close.
Yeah.
But they still did it.
They still did
and
it.
It's, if you're a hunting gathering society, meaning you're following the herds, you're picking plants when they're in season, you're not spending time constructing this for no reason.
That is not the most important thing on your list of things to do today.
No.
Yeah.
People will build things like that when they have time to build them.
Yeah.
And you have time to build it when you don't have to worry about chasing animals and foraging for plants.
Yes.
Because
exactly.
you've developed a civilization that can provide that already.
Yeah.
It's in place.
Yes, exactly.
So like that I think again, just normal guy rationale.
Yeah.
If you've got this big giant city, it's because you had time to build it and you needed it.
Yeah, exactly.
So and I think that's the underlying controversy with Gobekli Tepe is like it wasn't agriculture that drove this city.
Yeah.
The city created the it's like, you know what, we're setting up shop. We already know this stuff.
Exactly.
This is where we live.
Yep.
And it turns out that everything they found here, which to me is fascinating already, is this wasn't where they lived. This is where they came to get together.
Yeah.
They lived other places.
Exactly.
And you were talking, what's the name of the sister city?
Karahan Tepe.
What is it?
Karahan Tepe.
Karahan Tepe.
It's 27 miles away.
Which
and
for
it's
us,
massive.
Which for us would be in eastern Connecticut.
Yeah. It's massive, and it's
living
that
space.
place is all living space and food processing.
Yep.
And they're noticing that there's other sites around it, and it all where they're finding them. Gobekli Tepe is at the center of all this, so it became a worshiping hub.
Yep.
So that's what they were doing. That was a place where, like you said, people. Who knows? It could have been. They could have had some form of government. You could have these tribes, these little cities, these little things, and they're like, okay, come together. We share our resources. We come here and tell you what we've got.
Yep.
What's going on? A meeting place.
Yeah.
And a worshiping place. You know.
Yeah.
And it's. I mean, who knows? And it would be nice to know. Dig it up already.
Yeah. But
Like,
this place is older than Gobekli Tepe.
They
right?
think it's about 1,000 years older.
Which means
they were living there already. And
they were already there, and they were there long enough, and the population grew enough, and they're like, you know what? We need another place to go hang out with all the other towns.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Which-
a center location where
blows my mind.
Yeah.
Because these are not people just wandering around like, oh, there goes a herd of buffaloes, chase it.
Yeah.
There's no buffalo in Turkey.
And there was no written word, like, there was no writing.
We haven't found it.
We haven't found it. Exactly.
If they could build this, they
were communicating. Whether it was symbols or whatever, it doesn't matter. They were doing something.
And that to me is where the mainstream archaeology loses credibility for me. Because just because we haven't found it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So, here's how I think about it. We all know what dinosaurs look like, right?
Yeah.
If I said, picture a T-Rex, everyone in their head knows what it looks like.
Yeah.
Do you know how many full T-Rex skeletons we found? One.
Yeah.
One. That's it.
Yeah. We found pieces of other ones and stuff, but yeah.
So we've built an entire understanding of these animals from one full skeleton.
Yeah.
Right? But think about everything you know about dinosaurs from one skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
We found nothing in terms of human history.
Yeah, exactly.
And the arrogance of people to say no, it was like this. is astounding to me.
Yeah.
It's almost as astounding as the fact that these people 12,000 years ago built this.
Yeah.
Right? Just be like, you know what? Let's figure out what it is.
Yeah. And then you get the people that are like, there was no civilization before the Ice Age. Like, the Ice Age came, and there's no proof of it anywhere.
You
And
haven't
it's like,
found it.
You haven't found it. Not only that, would it still exist? The glaciers carved valleys.
Right.
So just think, if there was a little stone town in the middle of this,
gone.
it would just be sand.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can't, and they're not finding. I mean, you could maybe find shards of pottery or something like that, but they're not. These aren't places that they're looking. But think about the cities that they're finding. They're finding cities underwater.
Yeah.
On coasts. You know,
Tune in for that episode.
One of them is off the coast of Cuba. It's in like 200 feet of water.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's crazy.
That's
What
Ice
was
Age
there?
time.
Yeah.
That's when the glaciers were huge and the water levels were down 400 feet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. So so we think we know. Science is supposed to learn and continue to learn.
It's the worst.
But people want to, because you don't get government. You don't get grants for your research if you were wrong.
Yeah, which is dumb.
Which, you know what I mean? If you were wrong, if you spent your life researching this thing and you wrote a paper on it and you wrote a book about it, and then somebody finds something else and says, oh, guess what? All your shit was wrong. You shouldn't lose credibility. It was
right when you wrote it.
It was right when you wrote it. That was the evidence you had. You came up with the hypothesis for it. We talked about this in the intro episode.
Right.
But it's like, so now you have these controversies with Gobekli Tepe.
Yeah.
Is thing like it challenges the agriculture first theory.
Yep.
They were building things before they were growing things. They were already doing it.
That we've seen.
And you talk even so Aunt Michelle.
Yeah.
So we have a
Greatest
aunt and uncle.
greatest hunter gatherer ever.
Yeah, exactly. She lives up in Maine, and she forages and she does tons of stuff. She teaches people how to forage and stuff like that.
Yeah, for fun.
And one of the things she told me one time, we went out, we were looking at stuff, and we found this saying. She says, you only take 30%.
Take what you need.
You take what you need. You don't take it all, because if you take it all, it will not grow back next year, or it'll be smaller, and then eventually it's gone.
It's gone.
She goes, if you take 30% next year when you come back, it's just like it was. It might even be bigger. So they could have found fields of stuff. They're like, hey, this stuff works. Like, whatever it is, whether it was barley or wheat or whatever, they could have walked into an area where there's just like massive amounts of it, and they're like, we're staying here.
Yeah.
This
is awesome.
This is awesome. If we only take this bit here, that gets us through the whole winter.
Right. And then while that's growing back, we can use this part over here.
Yes, exactly. And people weren't stupid. When you're sitting around all day with nothing to do except survive, you realize these things. I'm not an astronomer, but I know that when freaking October comes, I have to put the visor down before I turn down Market Street, because the sun, when I leave for work, is going to blind me.
Yeah. You think
they
they didn't notice that too?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and then within a few weeks it's gone, and I don't have to do it anymore.
Right.
And they notice that stuff. And especially back then when there's no light pollution, they could see the stars, they could see the sky.
It's not like they were sitting around like, hey, what do you want to do today?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're still alive today.
We're still alive today. Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the fact that they built this complex, at Gobekli Tepe, as advanced as it was, and I say advanced because I couldn't build that.
No, and at the time nobody was doing it.
They weren't supposed to be able to build it because they were supposed to just be following animals.
Yeah, exactly.
That to me is, as a non-archaeologist, a semi-educated person, just says, like, you know what? They were doing stuff way longer than when they built this city.
Yeah, exactly.
They built this city once they'd figure out how to survive without full effort all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't wake up one morning and you're like, hey, I can carve a 27-ton pillar out of this sandstone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And stand it up so it never falls down.
Yeah, for 11,000 years. Yeah.
And counting.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And these things are, and we get into the thing of like ancient aliens. Like, did the aliens help them do it?
It had to be aliens. No, it didn't. It just had to be people that were
it'd be
smarter than you gave them credit for.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that in a case like this, I think that's far more likely is the people in that part of the world, at the very least, were way smarter, more advanced than they were initially given credit for.
Yes.
I don't think there was any outside influences other than what you talked about, like migrants from other parts of the world.
Yeah.
Which probably also happened.
Also happens.
It just makes sense. If you're following the food, you're gonna eventually bump into someone else following food.
Yeah.
So
and if you're like, oh, there's only enough food, we'll have to kill all of them.
Yeah.
You know, but,
yeah.
but,
hey, that kid just dropped more seeds. Let's start with him.
But you would get these merges of truth because it's like, hey, we work together. We can
all survive.
We could all survive.
Yeah.
Or or we have this, you have that. Let's share it.
Yep.
You know, it's just crazy to me that they don't want to dig the rest of it up.
Yep.
Because we're gonna find out
dig
way more.
It up.
Dig it up. Yeah. But it's like we'll find out more that maybe that they don't want to know. They want to just stick with what we think now, and that's ridiculous.
It costs too much to
that's not science.
Yeah, you don't even have to reprint textbooks anymore. Everything's electronic.
It's electronic. Yeah, you could edit it. I can edit Wikipedia right now. You know what I mean? It's like it's insane. So, but these people were there for a long time. They built this thing for a reason.
Yep.
What it was, we don't know.
We don't know.
But it could have just been a hub of, here's a temple. This is where we come to pray to whatever. Or, just so the gods aren't angry. We come and make some offerings here. And we depict whatever. And I don't know. It's just crazy.
But that's the thing. It's like they didn't build it just for fun. They built it because they could and still survive. Which, again, says to me that it was a way more established type of civilization than originally thought.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's my thoughts, man. I could talk about this forever, but
exactly. We're just gonna end up going back in circles again with it because of it. But
maybe in another episode we'll get into the sister city.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
It's Karahan Tepe.
Karahan Tepe.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we can get into that one in a little while.
Yeah, we'll talk about that eventually. It's because a lot more is coming out of that now, and they're finding things. Like I said earlier, they found beads and stuff, and it's like that was in a time there wasn't supposed to be any art.
Yeah.
Right. They were making beads. They were making art.
Doing things because they had time to do it.
Yeah, when you're supposed to be every day, it's supposed to be a struggle for survival of getting food and something. You had one guy who was like, "Hey, I can make beads." You know what I mean? So you don't know what the hell's going on. He can't come hunting with us.
One RuPaul of the day.
Yeah.
Right? You sit in the hut and make beads or something.
Yeah, make beads. Every time he goes hunt with us, he fucking scares the thing off. He fucking falls
clanging
and
exactly. These shiny things. He's scaring everything away.
So, yeah, exactly. And it's crazy, but yeah, we'll get into some other stuff.
Gobekli Tepe. Hey.
Yeah.
But tell you what, tell us your thoughts on Gobekli Tepe, and we'd love to hear from, again, you can email us. It's cdscipiece@gmail.com. Before we wrap this up, let's pull something from the Holy Grail to see what we'll talk about in our next episode.
All right. Let's see what we got.
So for episode 3, we're going to be talking about
Oak Island.
Oak Island.
Yeah.
Woo!
You have chosen poorly.
Yeah. All right, we can get into Oak Island next episode.
It's not like we're not going in chronological order with these things, but
no,
that's I think that's going to be a fun topic.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So let us know your thoughts on Gobekli Tepe, and check out tune in for episode 3 of Craig and Dave's Sci-Piece when we talk about Oak Island.
Oak Island. Yep. Like, subscribe, and follow. Check it out. Thank you very much.
Love you, Josh Gates.